So Cavendish Cancer Care is a local independent charity that supports cancer patients and their families. We provide a range of complementary therapies and counselling interventions to help alleviate the physical and emotional symptoms of a cancer diagnosis, not only on the patient but on their surrounding family as well. So at Cavendish Cancer Care we see the person, not the disease, and we offer individualised packages of care and therapy based around their needs rather than a packaged off-the-shelf product. Everyone who comes to us receives a range of care and support based around the needs of their diagnosis. For instance, last year we saw an age range of people from 4 to 100 over a spectrum of 44 different types of cancer, who obviously present with very different needs, and our aim is to address those needs for those individuals. The great thing about Cavendish Cancer Care is that we operate on a self-referral, free of charge basis, and what that means is that anybody can pick up their phone on whatever stage they're at in their cancer journey and access a free of charge package of care and support. We aim to see everybody within 5 working days, and that's key to us because we know if someone needs help, we want to provide that straight away. The great thing about Cavendish is it's flexible. You know, we can arrange appointments for someone to come here based around their chemotherapy schedule. It's not you must come on a Monday every single week. If your chemotherapy schedule is 3 weekly, we'll arrange your appointments 3 weekly. And in terms of funding that, we wouldn't be able to do that without the support of the general public. The support that platform gives allows us to provide specific therapeutic interventions to cancer patients. These can be physical, right? I think most people know that chemotherapy very often, in all cases, gives cancer patients quite a lot of nausea and sickness, and 2 of the therapies we provide are acupuncture and reflexology that are both proven to be really effective in relieving those symptoms of chemotherapy. So that kind of physical help to relieve those feelings of nausea enables people to live their lives a little bit better and to move on. One of the key things that we do is we support the carers of cancer patients. 20% of the people we see are caring for cancer patients, and it can be one of the most difficult times in their lives. We allow carers somewhere to come and take some time for themselves. This can be in the form of dealing with the emotional trauma that they're experiencing, speaking to a counsellor. One of the most important things for carers is being able to speak to someone who's unemotionally involved with their situation, being able to express themselves without fear of upsetting the person they're caring for, but also the wider family members. Just having someone else to talk to who can not sympathise with their situation but empathise with it because they've spoken to people who have been in those shoes before is incredibly important to carers. We do operate a specific children and young people service that's aimed at people from 4 to up to the age of 16, and it's not necessarily aimed at children who have cancer because they're very well catered for elsewhere. It's children who are affected by cancer in a loved one. So that can be a sibling, a grandparent or a parent. We offer a longer range of sessions for children, and those interventions are age appropriate because, as you can imagine, the 6-year-olds that we see need very different care and support to the 13 and 14-year-olds. But we have a range of specialist children and young people therapists who work with those children who are experiencing cancer in their loved one, and that's a gap in the system that we identified a few years ago, and it's always very difficult to support those families, but we're always pleased that we're there for them rather than them being out there on their own. What Cavendish Cancer Care is about is improving someone's quality of life. If you think about the NHS treating someone's cancer and providing those services, we're looking after the family during that process. What that means is helping them to deal with the effect cancer's having on their lives. Now, unfortunately, we do support people who don't recover, and that's very sad, but during that process, what we hope to do is to be able to improve the life that they have, and that's the same for everybody who comes through us. It's very difficult to put a figure on the kind of effect we have because everybody's so different. But what we do is ask people to score us, and 98% of the people who come through our service say that even if they're at a very low ebb, their interventions from Cavendish improve their quality of life. We've recently this year moved to a new centre just up the road from where we were before, from where Platform's been supporting us for many years. And in order to do that, we have launched a small capital appeal to improve the environment to which we're in. But the important thing for us is core funding. It's therapist time and counsellor time for cancer patients when they need it. And sometimes that's difficult for people to understand, but I think when they visit the centre, they speak to people who've used the service, they understand the difference that their donations are making. Put simply, donations that come to Cavendish allow cancer patients to have a safe space for them to come and express themselves without fear of upsetting their families, and have access to therapeutic interventions that, while recommended in national cancer plans, sadly aren't funded by them. We are a local independent charity and we only receive 2 weeks of statutory funding each year, so after that we're reliant on the generosity of the general public and student population like the guys from Platform in order to keep our doors open to everyone who needs us. The brilliant thing about the support we've been receiving from Platform from the very first year it came around is that it is year on year. You fund us, you support us, you talk about us, and that consistent support is incredibly important to us. You know, every year we look forward to meeting a new committee with Platform who never fail to impress us with their commitment to raising money for Cavendish and learning about what we do, and we're incredibly grateful for that because many people will do some fundraising for Cavendish and then move on, but you guys come back year after year and that's just brilliant. We just love having you around. The only final thing we'd like to say is just on behalf of everybody at Cavendish Cancer Care, we'd like to say thank you for the support of Platform for another year. You're absolutely brilliant. Thanks a lot.